My name is Aaron Hagebak. I'm the owner of Snapology Minneapolis in UPtown.
Hi there, I'm Gianna from Family Fun Twin Cities, and this is the Let's Go Do Fun Stuff show. Today we are taking a tour of one of the most fun locations in UPtown. On Lyndale Avenue, adjacent to Bob's Java Hut, you will find the most energizing STEAM concept studio in the Twin Cities, Snapology. Omri used to play at Snapology when he was little, so it was fun for him to chat with owner Aaron Hagebak about the business. And I always have a good time with Aaron too.
How long has Snapology been around for?
Yeah, so I've owned Snapology here in Minneapolis for about 7 years now. Started out of my house. We'd have teachers go to schools, and then about 9 months in, we opened the Discovery Center here, and so that's been going for about 6 years now. And it just keeps growing. We started with the creative play area in one classroom, and then we added a second classroom upstairs, and every school in the area wants to work with us, and so it just keeps growing and getting better.
Yeah. What kind of events do you have to offer kids?
So summer camps are our biggest thing. We run summer camps here at the center every week of the summer. And then we also work out at schools. We work at Minnehaha Academy and Blake and Minneapolis schools and some private schools around. So those are definitely the things that I think families enjoy the most. We also do a lot of birthday parties. So every weekend we have birthday parties here where kids come in and they get to pick a theme. So if they like Minecraft or that they like superheroes or Star Wars, like they'll come in and they'll do some creative play out here. Then we'll go do some stuff in the classroom around the theme that they like, and then they can sing happy birthday and cakes and stuff. We do after school classes out at schools in Minneapolis. We do a lot of field trips where groups come in and they play here, and we do some builds and some stuff back in the classroom. We work with a lot of Girl Scout troops when they're earning their robotics badges. And then, every Sunday morning we do a thing where kids can just come in and play, and parents get to have coffee from the coffee shop next door. So the parents are happy, the kids are happy. So lots of different things that are either really focused on STEAM or just kind of fun and playful.
Yeah. Do you guys ever do Pinewood Derby type things on the race car?
Yeah, and so that's what that racetrack is a Pinewood Derby track. And when I got it, it's super sharp and metal, so I had someone build the casing for it so it wouldn't poke kids. But I think that's our like kids' most favorite station. It changed the dynamic in here because prior to that it was pretty mellow, pretty quiet, kids sitting at tables building. Then you get that thing in here and the race cars go down and they crash and it's very loud, so it kind of makes it louder and more energetic in here, but kids love it. They make all kinds of crazy stuff and race it down, and we do use it for classes too, where they have to build cars that see which one is the fastest and like what's making it fast or slow, like what kind of friction or gravity elements are in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we have robots called cubelets, which are physical cubes that some are sensors and some are action things, like there are wheels and there are lights and there are things that move. So it's kind of physical coding for younger kids where they can actually put these blocks in order and like make bots that move around and do different things without screens. So that's fun. We love making slime here and talking about the science behind slimes. We talk about non-Newtonian fluids, and we talk about polyvinyl acetate, and we talk about all the chemistry that like goes into making slime while they're making it, because a lot of kids have made slime but they're not quite sure like what happens. They know that there's a reactor that happens and then something happens, but they're not sure what that is. So we talk through all the chemistry stuff. We make stop motion movies, and so it does use Legos, but it's more about the technology of filming a bunch of pictures and putting them into stop motion. So
whenever we try to make slime when I was younger, it all turned into this giant glue mess. It never worked. We even bought a slime kit and it didn't even work.
And we do it pretty mess free. Like we're really good about having kids roll up their sleeves, and girls like putting their hair back in buns and stuff, because slime doesn't do well with clothes or with hair. So we've got a pretty good rate of success with kids not getting messy or like getting stuff all over on their clothes or stuff. We try not to have everything be Legos, so we've got like these garden sets which are pretty interesting.
That
So
looks
they
like
can make
Playmobil.
little gardens.
It does look a little like Playmobil.
Yeah, these are fascinating. So there are all these shapes, and then you like find the pieces that you need to make this. You can just build creatively with them too, but there's not step-by-step building, and so kids have to actually really look at the picture.
But there
and
are
see.
the pieces, right? Like they'll show you the pieces you need. Nice.
Yeah, but these are kind of fun.
Is this like the stand to put them on? Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, these suckers, we've had these. I can't remember what they're called.
Plus.
Plus.
And there's the little ones and the big ones.
Right, the little ones are cute. I remember my kids had those, and I was like, I don't know what to do with them. They're kind of more, to me as a parent, they were more stress relief.
Right. Yeah. We've had kids build really cool things, big dragons or big like creatures and stuff, but I've never been good building them. They just look like a mess whenever I.
Right. Okay. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So what is the biggest build you've done? Like you've built out of Legos?
Ooh, the biggest build, I think, we were building a big Lego city, and all the students were working on a Lego city together, and a kid really wanted to build Godzilla. And so we started, and he built 1 foot, and it was about, I don't know, 7 or 8 bricks high for 1 foot. And I looked at it, and I'm like, this is going to be a huge Godzilla.
Yeah.
So we did it. We worked on it for probably 2 or 3 hours and got the huge feet, and then the body, and the tail, and the arms, and the head. And so it ended up being about this big. And so it was much bigger than all the little buildings and all of the vehicles in the city.
Yeah.
There's this massive Godzilla. That was huge.
Wow. Next you need to build King Kong.
Yeah, right.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
The first one is, what is your background? Like, you're not a business person you are now, but you weren't.
Right. Yeah, so when I went to college, I wanted to be a sociologist and was going to go through the whole grad school thing and got a full ride scholarship to the University of New Hampshire. Went to New Hampshire, decided I didn't want to live in New Hampshire, so I came back and I kind of switched to social services, and I worked for the Bridge for Runaway Youth, working with homeless youth and families for a number of years. But music was always my passion, and so then I moved into the music business, and I worked in the music business for about 15 years. And so worked with small little labels and worked up to the biggest record labels in the world, and met Justin Bieber and Kanye West and Katy Perry and
Nice.
Lady Gaga, and worked with those artists. But they wanted me to move to Los Angeles when physical music, compact discs, were on the decline, and Spotify and Apple were coming up, and I didn't want to move to Los Angeles. And so I moved into other sales roles and didn't really like how my life felt. And so I wanted to do something more meaningful and impactful for the community. And so I started this, and I was like unsure how it would be starting my first business. So I joined a franchise, which is what Snapology is. So they have the core curriculum, they have the kind of the marketing backbone to help you and like to answer any questions. Turns out running business isn't as difficult as I thought. I could have done it myself if I had given myself more credit, but it's good to learn from someone else too. And so so that's how I did it. So I had the sales and marketing, and so that was easy for me. It was the teaching and the classroom management stuff that I thought would come easy, but like that's why people go to school for teaching, because it's hard to get kids to respect you and do what you want to do and do it kind of in a playful way and not lose control of a classroom. And kids that are 3 and 4 are very different humans than kids that are 14 and 15. And so that took the longest time, was like just the teaching theory and like how to be around kids. So I thought that was going to be easy. And I think the first class that I ever taught, a kid put a chair up on a table, climbed up on it, and climbed up on the chair up on the table. And I was like, I have kids. I would know how to tell my kids, but this is a kid that I don't know. And so I'm like, and so that's when I figured out I need to really kind of learn how to be a teacher too.
Yeah.
Most of our teachers are licensed teachers or in grad school to be teachers, so they understand the theory more than I did when I started. And so the people that are teaching our classes 95% of the time are very skilled and have a lot of teaching background in various ways. Some of them licensed teachers, some of them like basketball coaches, like they kind of come from all walks of life, but they bring different energy. But for me, myself, I needed to learn. Yeah.
Because you have to step in once in a while. You don't get to just do all the behind the scenes all the time. Especially at the beginning, you were in the middle of it all.
Right, you bet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So this whole space is mainly for kids to be creative and kind of explore and do what they are excited about. And then the other part of our center is the classrooms, and that's for the more focused activities that we work on. So we try to have kids use both sides of their brains. So here they're creative, they can do kind of whatever they want, and then we focus in the classroom on robots and engineering and STEAM concepts. Well, this room is really multifunctional, so we can use it for a birthday party, we can use it for a class, we can use it for a field trip. All the tables move around, so it could be a very intimate small birthday party with 5 or 10 kids, or we can change all the tables around and have 40 kids in here. We have preschoolers in here and middle schoolers, so it's really kind of changes based on who we're working with and what we're doing.
What has brought you the most growth and the most joy about having Snapology in your life?
The most joy has been watching campers grow up through Snapology, and we have curriculum that works for kids as young as 2 and 3 up to middle school. And so we've had kids the 7 years that I've been here start at age 5 in camps, and like they'd come in crying and not wanting to leave their parents and really kind of anxious, and then now they're in middle school and like they're doing our most complex things, and like watching them grow through that and seeing them kind of grow up as kids, that's been super fun. We have our first intern this summer who was a Snapology camper for 5 or 6 years, and so he reached out as a 10th grader now, like, hey, this is Nathan, I'd love to be an intern at Snapology. I was there for 5 years. I'm like, yeah,
I know you.
You're Nathan, yeah. So that brings me a lot of joy, like watching kids. And then also the other joy that I get out of this is kids using their brains in different ways. And some kids that might not be as successful in school in one way come here and can use their brain differently and like find ways to grow and be accepted. And we work with a lot of kids on the spectrum or with extra needs, and like seeing them really like get focused in and get excited about doing the curriculum that we have, like brings me a lot of joy, seeing them like leave happy and their parents, it's great. Like it's a welcoming space, and the kids are all seem to be happy, and we can scale it to different ages and different ways that brains work. So that's fun to watch kids be successful here. And then growth. I mean, for me personally, it's been understanding that the staff that I have, I hired them for a reason, and they're great people, and letting them kind of flourish and do their thing. Like when I first started, it was very much like, this is my thing, this is my deal, and so I really want it to go a certain way. But my manager, who's been here for 3 or 4 years, and then some of our staff that have been here for 5, 6 years, like watching them grow and like really take over being the face of what this is has been awesome. So letting go and stepping back and letting them kind of run it has been awesome to see.
That makes me really happy for you.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty good at hiring.
Yeah.
The right kind of people.
You're pretty good at like knowing people, like pretty, sometimes we're wrong, but rarely, I would say, for Aaron. So, well, thank you for doing this with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
We love Family Fun Twin Cities, and
and vice versa.
We've worked together for a lot of years.
Yeah, since you started. Since before you started, I think. I think you had like 1 or 2 camps, and that was it.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is this thing? Let's try it. Sweet. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron, for the service you provide at Snapology and for the time that you have spent with my kids and with Family Fun Twin Cities. The tour was fantastic, and so was the information. Family Fun Twin Cities provides a weekend family fun guide that divides into regions of the metro. We also have a highly curated calendar of the family fun you can find on any specific day. We have all the links available in the show notes if you are listening to the podcast, or in the description box if you are watching on YouTube. And now it's time to highlight our weekend top 3. There is something about Easter that I love. I love the meaning behind it, being that I'm a believer in Jesus. I love the spring. I love the colors. I love the dresses and the bow ties. And the most important thing that I love is that it doesn't carry the same pressure as Christmas. Maybe that's not the most important thing, but it is a big thing. The gifts aren't as important as the time together, and this year it's our daughter's birthday, so it's extra special. Catch your last chance on Saturday for a fun Easter egg hunt. Here's something I find really cool. Incorporating natural elements into new playground designs seems to be the trend. More places are popping up where kids get the opportunity to interact with the landscape and perhaps develop a greater appreciation for it. We have listed 17 places we've discovered in the Twin Cities in our Nature Playgrounds article. We have the link for you in the notes. Some of our favorites are located in Tamarack Nature Center in White Bear Lake and in Lowry Nature Center in Victoria. And now, it's your turn to go do fun stuff.
Yeah, start. Omri, can you make sure I'm actually in this shot first, though? There. Usually it's like, did I hit play or start or whatever? Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't like having slime in there.
No, I hate slime.
Mm-hmm.
Slime as a parent is awful, which is why it's free here.
Yeah.
That makes sense. When I was homeschooling, which is why we're slowly coming out of homeschooling, I was like, I don't know how else to tell you what this means and what this is. And they're like, but I don't get it. And that's what you get. So I'll just keep saying the same thing over. It does not work.
Yeah.
Not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Dame had his 10th? Yeah, what is it called?
Birthday party?
Yeah, 10th birthday party.
Yeah. What do you remember about it?
I wasn't allowed to go.
So you remember nothing?
No. I don't really care though, except that mine got postponed for 2 years.
Oh.
Why would yours have gotten postponed?
COVID.